I never imagined my life would take such an unexpected turn, all because of one conversation, one night, and one unspoken desire. It started like any other weekend. My husband, Jason, and I had just gotten back from dinner. We were married for 6 years, and things between us had been steady, calm, even comforting. But if I was honest, a part of me missed the spark. The butterflies, the wild laughs, the thrill. Marriage has a way of mellowing out passion and replacing it with routine. Jason wasn't the same man I'd met in college. And I wasn't the same, either. But that night, after dinner, as we curled up on the couch with a bottle of wine, Jason seemed distant. He kept glancing at his phone, then back at me, as if he wanted to say something but didn't know how. I waited. Eventually, I asked him, "Is something on your mind?" He looked at me seriously, then took a long sip of his drink. "There's something I've been thinking about," he said slowly. "And I want to ask you, but I don't want you to freak out." I blinked. "Okay. What is it?" He hesitated. "You know Rachel, right?" Rachel was a close friend of mine. We'd known each other for years. She was beautiful, confident, and bold, the type who never shied away from anything. I nodded. Jason continued, "We were all at that pool party last month. You two were close, laughing, joking. There was this moment where, I don't know, it just stuck with me." I raised an eyebrow. "What are you getting at?" He leaned in. "I liked seeing you two together. The chemistry, the energy. It made me wonder, what if I asked you to spend time with her, intimately, with me watching?" The words hit like a wave of heat and confusion. I stared at him, unsure if I heard right. "You want me and Rachel?" He nodded, his voice steady. "Only if you're comfortable. Only if you want it too." My mind swirled with 1,000 thoughts. Part of me was shocked. Another part was curious. It wasn't something I ever thought about before, but the way he framed it wasn't vulgar. It was emotional, vulnerable, like he was opening a door he'd kept closed for years. I didn't answer that night. I told him I needed time, and for the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Not just what he asked, but what it meant. Did he not want me? Was this his way of escaping? Or was it something deeper, a way to reconnect with something lost between us? A week later, I met Rachel for coffee. She noticed I was acting strange. "You okay?" she asked, sipping her latte. "I need to ask you something weird," I said. "Go on." I looked into her eyes, trying to find the words. Jason said, "He saw something between us. At the pool party. He asked if I'd ever consider being with you." While he watched, Rachel raised her eyebrows, then laughed, not mockingly, but with genuine surprise. "Wow. That's bold. And honest. I didn't expect that." "Me neither," I admitted. Then she leaned forward, more serious. "What do you think?" I hesitated. "I don't know. I think I'm scared to find out what it could change." She smiled gently. "Sometimes change isn't bad. Sometimes it brings you closer to what you've been missing." Her words stayed with me. That night, I told Jason I was ready, but only if we set boundaries. He agreed. Everything had to be based on trust and openness. No secrets. No regrets. The following weekend, Rachel came over. We kept it simple. Just wine, music, and conversation. The tension was there, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was warm, honest, like a shared secret between the three of us. The experience wasn't what I expected. It wasn't about lust. It was about connection, feeling seen, feeling wanted. For Jason, it was about watching the woman he loved come alive in a way he hadn't seen in years. And for Rachel, it was about being trusted enough to be part of something so personal. After it was over, there was silence, not awkward, but thoughtful. Jason came over, sat beside me, and took my hand. "Thank you," he said softly. "For what?" "For trusting me. For trusting us." I realized then that it wasn't about Rachel. It was about us. About rediscovering each other through something new. 4 days after, Jason was more affectionate than ever. We talked more. Laughed more. And the intimacy returned, not just physically, but emotionally. We were no longer just husband and wife. We were partners again. Rachel didn't become a regular part of our life. It was a one-time experience, one that left us stronger. She understood, and she respected that. Months later, Jason and I went on a weekend trip to the coast. We sat by the fire, watching the waves roll in, and he looked at me with that same boyish wonder I hadn't seen since we were 22. "Would you ever do something like that again?" he asked, wrapping an arm around me. I leaned into him. "Maybe. But only if it means we come out of it closer." He smiled. "Then we'll never stop growing." And he was right. Sometimes, love doesn't look like the fairy tale we expect. Sometimes, it's messy, unpredictable. But when it's built on trust, honesty, and understanding, it becomes stronger than ever. We never told anyone else what happened that night. Not because we were ashamed, but because it was ours. A chapter in our story that brought us back to each other. A chapter that reminded us how important it is to explore, to ask, to listen, and to say yes, when it truly matters.